Welcome to What's the Biz. We're here to talk about entrepreneurship and business, and I'm so happy to have today Mario Chavez. Man, Mario, just thank you so much for joining us
Mr. Latin,
today.
thank you for having me.
No problem. So tell us about yourself and tell us about your business.
Well, obviously, like you said, my name is Mario Chavez. I was transplanted from California, Los Angeles, over to Louisiana. Love it here. The city is great. The people are friendly. And we came here because of General Motors.
Wow.
So I got into the military young. I was 20 years old. And the choice that I wanted was something very high tech.
Right.
So I told my recruiter, bring me 3 DVDs. Back in the day, they used to have these discs that you put in a player. Now we stream everything. But
Right.
I watched the 3 DVDs. I picked the high tech job. Of the 3 was fiber optics, satellite communication, and GPS tracking systems. I said, hey, this looks really cool. I know later on I'll be able to find a job.
Right.
So I went off to the Army. I learned satellite communications. I learned how to do data encryption and security. And when I got out, I wanted to start a business. So I said, let me do what I know. And we started something called Merchant Services. Nobody ever knows what that is. Basically, we facilitate the movement of money for businesses. So when you go out to eat, you go to a restaurant, you swipe a credit card, our company takes the money out of your account and puts it in the business owner's account. We not only do restaurants, we do retail locations, we do hospitals. Then we migrated into doing mobile applications, we build websites, and we started doing software development. We had to do a lot of integration because I operate in a saturated market. And in the saturated market, everybody sells credit card processing. It's very easy to get.
Right.
So what stands us out or what makes us different is we said, let's get into mobile app. Everything is going mobile. All you see is people on their phone, their
Right.
head down. Everything is going on to the mobile. So what we did is we started building mobile applications for businesses, and it really catapulted our business because everybody needs to be present in the mobile app store.
Right.
They need to engage with their customers. They need to have real estate on somebody's phone.
Exactly.
And so we said, well, we can get in front of this saturated market by not only offering customers a product that saves them money, but one that makes them money. So we started doing a lot of really cool, innovative things. We teamed up with the bail bonds company. We built a mobile app that will help the bail bondsmen actually track the people that not only they make the payment arrangements, but if something happens, they get pulled over, they can press the app, they turn on a panic button, it records the conversation with the police officer to use for court, and then it actually sends a message to the bail bondsman to see that, okay, I've been picked up, and then it sends a tracking system every 5 minutes so they can see which jail they're going to, text messages the next of kin so that they know, hey, something's happened, and they go over there and they're able to meet the bail bondsman at the jail to pay via the app, bail the person out, and get them out. So innovative things like that, like how do we increase customer engagement with the business owner to make things more relevant, and that's what we've come up with mobile applications.
Wow, well that's awesome. And like you said, you guys had to find a way to innovate and to make sure to stand apart from a lot of competition. So tell us, just some other great things. Where do you see your business going here in the future?
We've actually started opening up a couple new offices. We have one in St. Louis, Missouri. We have one in Billings, Montana, and we teamed up with a company in Baton Rouge. And that's really the goal. The goal of business, you can't stay hyper-local. Right. A lot of people, when they first get into entrepreneurship, all they see is the small picture. They see the right here and the right now. But what I've learned is you have to learn how to operate on a global market. When you go to Walmart and you buy a thing of hand soap, you're operating on a global market because that didn't come from somewhere down the street. That came from somewhere in China or India. So if you're purchasing on a global market, you need to start learning how to sell in a global market. So the best way that I can say is if you have product or services that are going out of the walls of your city or your parish or your state and you're bringing revenue back into you, that's true economic development. So if you can find a way to have a product that you're sending out of the state and you're bringing money into your pocket, that's a true entrepreneur. And you have to figure out, a lot of people, they don't know this when they first get into entrepreneurship, it's how to duplicate their time.
Exactly.
A lot of people trade their time for money. They trade their 1 hour for an X amount of rate, whereas if they can figure out how to duplicate themselves and they have 10 of themselves bringing in revenue, that's the true goal of an entrepreneurship, and I've learned how to do that. I've learned how to do that utilizing technology. So we have 2,500 customers just here locally in the area.
Wow.
And all these machines, they're never late for work, they never call in sick, so software has been a huge help to our business because we can always rely on it to work. It never breaks. If something breaks, it's typically the PC or the hardware. But that parlays me to another thing that I've learned in business is a lot of times in a saturated market, it's not price that gets you the business. It's customer service.
Exactly.
It's people knowing that you care. It's people knowing that if I call you and you show up, that you're going to do what you say you're going to do, and you're going to be there when I need you.
Right.
And that's been the biggest thing. Is a lot of people have even told us, hey, listen, you should actually charge more for your service because we've never dealt with a company like yours that will actually come out and fix our stuff, and we do it for free.
Right.
And they're blown away by that. But I know when I was in the Army, if the commander called me at 2 in the morning and said, hey, soldier, get your butt out of bed, or cot rather. We didn't get beds. I was in the Army. We would get out. We'd get down there and we'd hook up to communications, and we made sure the commander would talk. Well, when I started the company, I said, look, the things that I've learned that have made me successful in the military, I'm just going to do the same thing in business.
Right.
And if it's somebody calls and says, hey, I need you, don't tell them to call a 1-800 number and talk to some guy in India. You don't want to talk to some guy in India.
Right,
Neither
exactly.
do I.
Wants to talk to you, exactly.
So I tell all of our employees, just get in your car, drive over there. Even if you're calling that 1-800 number to do the work for them, at the end of the day, our job is to make sure that they can take payments. Their job is to sell their food or sell their product, whatever it may be.
Exactly.
So that's been a big help.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but I want to talk about your story. You told me your amazing story. I guess we can say from rag to riches.
We can say that.
Good. So after this break, we want to continue with Mario Chavez.
Hello? Mom, I'm so tired of this. I'm tired of working this dead-end job. I'm not getting anywhere. I want to go back to school, but I have no idea on where to start. My credit's just ruined, so no one's going to give me a loan.
We are here to improve your credit so that you can get the things you need and want in life. Our team at We Raise Credit can help you get the financing for higher education.
I want to go back to school and I need to raise my credit, but I don't know where to start, so I need help.
Life is important, and so is your credit.
Hey, Mom, guess who got an A on their first psych exam?
We Raise Credit.
Welcome back to What's the Biz. I'm here with Mario Chavez. We've had just a wonderful conversation about his business and his customer service, but we're going to dive in a little bit deeper. He has an awesome story to tell about where he came from and where he is now. So Mario, tell our viewing audience just your story.
Mr. Lattin, I'm glad you asked. A lot of people, they never see the struggle. They always see the success.
Right.
They never see the hardships of being a true entrepreneur and stepping out and starting your business, what it's really about. I dropped out of high school. I'm a high school dropout. And I get this a lot when I'm sitting there talking to business owners, is they always ask me the same thing, where'd you get your business degree at, or where'd you go to college at? And when I tell them I didn't go to college, they're astounded, and I tell them, look, I'll be honest with you, I didn't even graduate high school.
Wow.
And they're like, wait a second. And I said, listen, I know. Well, I had a son when I was 16, and of course, at 17 years old, I dropped out because I had to raise him. I had to go to work, and I did everything the hard way. I learned, I did everything wrong, which then taught me how to do everything right. But it's been a blessing to me because I've had the best on-the-job training you could ever ask for. I've been able to set up 2,500 customers, and all those clients that I've ever sat down with and set up, all business owners, I would ask them, how'd you start this? What'd you do? And then I've just got able to sit back and listen to their story. And the story is always, it's the drive, and it's never wanting to give up.
Right.
And I know it's easy to say that, but the thing about an entrepreneur is it's the execution.
Right.
I always say the difference between a dream and an entrepreneur is the execution.
Right.
It's because when you have a goal, you have to go do it.
You have to,
and a lot of times people think they'll study it and they'll think, I got to do this and then this. Just start. Get out of your comfort zone. Start doing it. And it's not going to be easy. There was times where I was so broke for the first 3 years, I had to walk to work. I kid you not.
Wow.
I walked to work. There was times I didn't even have enough money to put gas in my car. So I said, I'm going to walk to work, but I believed in it. I was working 3 jobs, and everything was a reason to get to the end.
Right.
And obviously, 15 years later, it all makes sense, but nobody sees that. They don't see the walking to work.
Right.
They see the success, and every time I'm able to sit down with a young entrepreneur and tell them, listen, it's not going to be easy.
Right.
But that's the thing is, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Everybody would. And you know, that's funny because I tell young entrepreneurs, I guess I'm still young, but I tell any entrepreneur or person looking to get into business, I tell them all of the bad stuff first.
Right.
I tell them you're going to have to work 24 hours, 7 days a week. You will have to take vacations having your phone and your laptop with you.
Yes.
You never get a day off.
No.
You're always on. You will struggle if it's financially, if it's, even mentally sometimes.
Yes.
Kind of trying to put everything in its place. So yeah, that's just so engaging to hear. And what some other things kind of with your business kind of at that point?
Mr. Lattin, I'll tell you this, and this is one thing that you won't really learn going to college to get a business degree, but it's all about accessing mentorship.
Right.
I know the biggest success for me has not only been the on-the-job training from those 2,500 clients that I was able to reach out to and ask, but a couple of those shaked out into being true mentors that have become my best friend.
Wow.
And what I've done is I've looked at those people and I've said, I want to be like them. What made them successful? And what I've been able to do is pick the successful things of those people that made them great, whether it be looking great. And when I say that, I mean, when I was 18 years old working at a phone company, we worked at a call center, and it didn't matter what you wore, to the point where the call center allowed us to wear pajamas to work.
Wow.
But every day, there was a man that showed up in a suit. Every day, and nobody saw us. We didn't see customers. We talked on the phone. But I remember looking at that guy and saying, he's wearing a suit every day. Why? And so I went up there and I was like, I got to meet this guy because he stood apart from everybody else.
Right.
And you can see that when you meet an entrepreneur, when you meet a successful person, there's something about the way that they carry themselves before they even hit the success.
Right, exactly.
Before they have $1 million, they look like $1 million.
Right.
And that just makes other people want to gravitate to them to say that this is a true leader because he does it by himself.
Right.
He does it without having to be told what to do. So I remember I just wanted to emulate what he was doing, and of course I couldn't really afford a lot, so I went and got a button up first and I got some slacks, and I started dressing like that, and people, they would say, why do you guys wear that? And I remember he told them, why don't you wear that?
Right.
And I said, wow, that's the guy. And then I met these other guys that were very, very successful, and I realized the goal, that the common denominator between all of them was that they helped other people.
Exactly.
They went out of their way to help other people, even their own competition.
Right.
I was lucky enough in 2016, the Shreveport Chamber of Commerce, they gave me an award for Business Owner of the Year. I was very blessed that I got that, but I actually had a written letter from one of my competitors that wrote about how I would help them and let them borrow equipment because they couldn't afford it.
Exactly.
But I remember when there was times when I couldn't even buy equipment for myself to sell to customers, so I took apart used stuff to repair it and sell it as used to some of my clients. I say, hey, listen, this is a used one, I'll sell it for half. Well, they didn't know I took the thing apart, but thankfully, God has taken me to college throughout my whole life. So while I was in the military, learning how to take apart satellite communication and put it back together, unbeknownst to myself, I was going to school to learn how to get ready for my career that he had planned for me.
Exactly.
Worked out perfect.
Wow.
So, and that's the thing. That's the tip. It's to help other people. When you walk into my office, there's a big, huge sign on the wall, and it says, you make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give.
Wow.
And that's what I want all my sales guys to look at every time they walk through is I've taught all of them, hey, listen, it's never about what you're going to put in your pocket.
Right.
It's what you're going to save in the pocket of the clients that we meet.
Exactly.
And it's worked out every single time. You can't go wrong. You can't outgive.
You can't outgive. And that's just such a great message. Well, we're going to take another break, and we're going to come back. I want to talk to you about what's the future.
Absolutely.
What does the future hold for Mario?
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Since I've been a child, I've always had an interest. I've played the trumpet in the past, the viola. Even when I listen to music, I hear the background. I hear the piano. I hear the instruments. As far as the foundation, I know that once you learn piano, you can build and go into other things. I have been doing this for about 2.5 months, and it has been an amazing journey. So I came in almost knowing little to nothing about the piano, and I'm walking away knowing that I can play a strong song, and I know the foundation and the basics. Listen, play music.
So welcome back, and we're here with Mario Chavez. We've had just a great conversation on entrepreneurship and just the path that it takes to be successful. So Mario, tell us, what does the future hold for you and your company?
Well, currently, I'm actually getting my pilot's license. I'm working on that because the goal, I think we talked about a little earlier, was not just being hyper-local, was branching out.
Right.
And sometimes the best way to make sure that other things are going good at your other offices is to have boots on the ground and eyes on the product.
Exactly.
And I had a friend take me for a ride in his airplane recently, and we went from Shreveport to watch the first half of the LSU Tigers game, and then over to Houston to tour NASA, and back to Shreveport at 8 p.m. And when we got back, I said, you know, we went all these places, and it's only been maybe 12 hours.
Wow.
I said, this was incredible, and it was enlightening and eye-opening. He said, it's like a time machine. So I said, okay, I got to get on the ball and get with this.
Right.
So, the thing about getting my pilot's license is I want to challenge myself. A lot of people, they think that successful people, once they hit a certain success,
right,
that becomes their stopping point.
Exactly.
And that's not at all, because after I get my pilot's license, I realized, you know, what can I do to make myself better? I need to learn a third language.
Right.
So after that, my goal is to learn Spanish. It's constantly challenging yourself to be the best version of yourself you can be.
Yes.
Because you don't know what opportunities hold for you when you can fly, when you can speak a different language.
Right.
We're currently working on opening up a business in Belize. So if I can navigate getting products from America down to South America, and I'm able to speak Spanish, how much more effective am I going to be?
Right.
And how much more can I duplicate my time? Like what I talked about earlier is exponentially, how do I increase my exposure by increasing myself and being able to do more things just by one person?
Exactly.
Speaking languages, flying an airplane, using technology, those are all things that I need to utilize that we're available, that are at our fingertips, that I don't think our entrepreneurs should just sit there and say, oh, you know, I've made it, I'm good enough, you know, I got $1 million in the bank. No, the same thing that I've realized with all the entrepreneurs that I know is it becomes a hobby. Their new pastime, it's not about making money so much as it's about like making things.
Right.
I met a restaurant owner who started a restaurant, now he's got 5. Now he started a restaurant business that helps other restaurants, sells them equipment. After selling them equipment, now he starts flipping houses and flipping corporate businesses and commercial property.
Wow.
And I look at these people and they're all the same. They just keep doing more and more and more.
Wow. And you know, it's funny because, like you say, anybody that I know that is successful and has even reached what we call success, they keep pushing and they keep going and they keep striving. So that's just so good to hear. And I heard one person say, the future you is depending on the present you. So that's definitely, I can see how you live. Mario, thank you so much for joining us today. We look forward to, no problem. We look forward to all the future success with you. And we know you do so much here in the Shreveport-Bossier community and with your business nationally and looking to be international as well. So thank you so much for being here with us. Again, you're watching What's the Biz, and thank you for tuning in with us today. We'll see you on the next episode.